Two-time national champion and team captain for the Alabama Crimson Tide, and former Carolina Panther, and his father, Corey Miller, the pastor of pain. A 9-year NFL veteran with the New York Giants and University of South Carolina Hall of Famer. This is the Miller's Edge.
And welcome into this Monday edition of the Miller's Edge, Time 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Hope everybody is doing well. Hope you guys had a great weekend. I know, I think me and Chase had a pretty solid weekend, man. Me and Chase got to kick it a little bit. As you guys know, we're wrestling fans and had a big wrestling event this weekend. So we got to watch some SummerSlam and 2-day event. So we watched it Saturday, watched it Sunday. Chase, I don't know, man. I don't think we chopped it up or gave our thoughts last night. It got late, but Saturday I know we were kind of on the fence, right? I know that the end of Saturday night's I guess main event was, I guess, kind of made up for the rest of the event that wasn't. I would say it's kind of ho-hum. It was up and down. Sunday's deal, I mean, Brock Lesnar coming back, that was obviously exciting. The match, at least with John Cena and Cody Rhodes. And sorry guys, we got to chop it up with a little bit of wrestling real quick to open the show. That way we can dive into football because there's plenty of football to talk about. A weekend full of football, and we will recap that again. 2 practices this weekend, padded practices. Well, I should say shells, right? No thigh or knee pads, but still some contact practices. I was up there at both of them, so we'll talk about that. But first, we got to get the wrestling out the way because it was a big event. But anyway, Brock Lesnar comes back. John Cena's match was arguably one of his best matches. I would actually say his best match this year since he's been on his farewell tour. Other than that, Chase, I'm not gonna lie, yesterday it wasn't really it for me, man. What were your thoughts overall from yesterday?
I was mid about the whole day 2. I think day 1 was better. I think John Cena, he could honestly wrestle for another 5 years if he goes at that rate. That was probably the best I've seen, maybe like a long time ago. He was wrestling Cesaro on Monday Night Raw, and he was just doing like all these special moves, and I was like, where has this John Cena been at? So it was nice to see him wrestle, but the elephant in the room is Brock Lesnar. I just don't know where they're going to go with this. Hopefully they can maybe put him as kind of somebody he can just have a feud with, but they've wrestled so many times I can't count my fingers anymore.
Yeah. No, I think a lot of people are excited for it. And I was actually reading something earlier that said, I think he was like John Cena's main requested match for his farewell tour. So I'm excited to see kind of how they dress it up and they get that whole thing going. But obviously last night was, just crazy to see, Brock return. Kind of hate how they always have everybody standing over John Cena. Like I get it's part of the show and all that, but I'm like, it's his return tour. Can we at least give him like one ending where he's not just legit getting stood over, getting F5'd or whatever, crossroads, and then just getting stood over at the end of the show. But anyway, I thought it was a pretty solid weekend though, watching that. Obviously, it was very eventful. Practice was in the morning, so I'd go to practice, do all that stuff, and then do everything around the house, go to the gym, and then get ready to watch some SummerSlam. So it was a good weekend for me, I would say, man. I definitely enjoyed it, man. Football, wrestling, 2 things that I enjoyed, and obviously squeezing in some Spanish practice. Pretty solid, man. Pretty solid weekend. That being said, we definitely got to dive into some football talk today. Saturday was the first Shells practice. That was a good one. Again, they were, off Friday. They only had, meetings and workouts, that kind of stuff. But Saturday hit the practice field. I'll say this, Chase, they've been getting thrown a bone with this weather, man. Like, I mean, this training camp, in my eyes, has been definitely in the players' favor. I mean, they went 2 days on, a day off, 2 days on, and then they're off again today. So there's no practice today. They actually are off again. And just hearing Kalen DeBoer kind of talk about that schedule, I think it makes sense, kind of their philosophy with it. I mean, as we know, obviously back in the older days, you hear my dad talk about all the time, they were doing 2 and 3 days at the NFL level, not even just college, like at the professional level. Well, you already know the professional level practices are a little bit, well, we used to always say they're kind of like not laid back, but compared to what we were doing here at Alabama, they are a step back. But my dad was doing 2-3 days, and they didn't really care about the load management or trying to worry about the heat and stuff like that. Nowadays, I think with all the science we have, I mean, if you guys ever get the luxury to go up to Mount Moore, which speaking of that, I got to figure out this time for Ellis, man. Ellis supposed to be running drills today at Mount Moore, so I need to figure that out. Hopefully we can. Hopefully we don't miss that doing the show, but we'll figure that out in a minute. But if you guys ever get a chance to go up there, you'll see. I mean, if you do get, and I don't know if they'll ever let people really go to the training room, especially when it's active. But what I'm getting at is there's so much technology and things and equipment that's science based. I mean, even in the weight room, I know they started using these machines where you strap them on and they detect every single bit of velocity. I'm talking about peak velocity, your explosiveness, all type of crazy tech. And what I'm getting at is nowadays, and then the biggest one. If you ever see guys wearing what looks to be like a sports bra, and I know that sounds silly, but I'm being dead serious. If you ever see like workout videos, I'm sure you have, like when the team posts stuff, and it looks like they're wearing like sports bras. What those are, it's called a catapult system. And what it does is it has a GPS tracker in the back of it. And it basically tracks all the logs of basically like how much you've ran. I mean, I don't know if it goes by like steps, miles, whatever it is, but it keeps track of all that load, top speed. That's how when they come out and say, oh, this guy ran X amount of miles per hour, that's what they're talking about. So long story short, they have people that literally are in charge of the sports science to track that stuff. And I think what they're finding out is, hey, if we actually try to cut these guys back some, or we push them for a couple of days and to, pull it back a little bit, then get back after it, what they're seeing is, guys are being able to produce a lot more and get better practice reps, right? Instead of being so beaten down and just going through the motion. Some might argue that old school way, kind of like what we used to do, just go and go and go, builds up mental toughness, builds those calluses in your mind when you're like, man, I don't know if I can keep going, but you have no choice and you just find a way to figure it out. But also understand this side of things, Chase, where, scientifically it makes sense. Like, you give your body time to adjust. That way, the next time you go on the practice field, you can practice again at a high level. That way you're maximizing every opportunity that you get. That being said, they are off today, but they did have 2 good practices this weekend. And when we come back here in a minute, I'll definitely kind of talk about that, to an extent. We've got plenty of video we got to catch up on. Coach DeBoer spoke to the media yesterday. We'll hear from him, talk about that. A couple players, I believe, not yesterday, but I want to say Saturday, LT Overton, Keon Sabb, those guys both spoke to the media post-practice. So we can discuss that as well. Then, like I always try to do, I try to give a quick little update. But again, you guys got to bear with me, man. There's only so much I can really dive into. And I try to only really discuss what's, being seen mostly during like those media viewing periods. But I will say this, though, because I think this is fine to do. There's always going to be guys that kind of pop. I always tell you guys, right? Like that's something that always, just look at, like who just stands out, who flashes. And I'll be honest with you guys, I got a lot more time to really just kind of, look at different positions, different players and whatnot. And I'll tell you, man, I got some exciting news on some of these young players, man. Really impressed with, like, again, some of the young guys that they just brought in. Now, when I say that, I'm not trying to sit there and say, this year you'll necessarily see them make some, immediate impact. No, but what I'm getting at is some of these young guys that they brought in who already had good springs have continued to build off of that. And the more I get to see them, the more I'm thinking like, man, this most recent signing class that they just got in here, they got a good group of guys, man. And I'm not just talking about the guys that you hear from, the highly rated guys, but really just, overall, like the different players they brought in at different positions. Like you really got to tip your hat to, the folks in that recruiting office that had scouted these players, Courtney Morgan, the coaches, anybody involved, because it really seems like the guys that they brought in, regardless of where they're rated or ranked, they fit really well. And they're just really good players, man. They all have their own kind of thing that makes them fit well, if that makes sense. So I want to talk about that here in a little bit as well. And speaking of recruiting and bringing guys in, spoke with Courtney Morgan last week at practice, and he said he'd be glad to jump on the show this week. So once we get that figured out in terms of official time and date and all that stuff, I'll definitely keep you guys posted. But be aware of that. We do plan on getting him on the show this week, which would be exciting. I know there's been a lot of news and recruiting and stuff, but really just want to get him on here, just kind of, give us an update on kind of, their process, kind of talk about, how that looks. Obviously, you probably heard him, discuss that already, but with so much changing stuff, I think it'd be really cool to get his insight and his perspective on the scouting process, just managing the guys, just with all the updates and stuff. I think it'd be great. So happy to get him on here sometime this week. So I'll keep you guys updated on that. And speaking of updates, before we hit this timeout, I got a big one for you. Ask and you shall receive. You guys have been asking, and you guys already probably saw it on the screen, right? We got our little our partner slide playing right here, but got exciting news for you. You guys been asking, what's the plan this year? You guys know we always love to do live shows during football season. That way we can get you guys to come hang out, have a good time, listen to us do the show, enjoy some good food, just a good time, get you guys ready for game day weekend. Well, the good news is we officially will be back at 1225 Sports Bar and Entertainment Venue for this football season, the 2025 football season. That is where we'll be. You can see it right here on the stream right now. We'll be there live doing the show. Now, obviously, the times have changed. So typically 12 opens up at 12, ironically. But we'll see kind of we still got to finalize how we're exactly going to do that. Regardless, we will be there. Could potentially just be doing the show an hour early as they're opening things up, but they might still open at 12. So you guys will catch the second half of the show, but then I'll just hang out there and kick it with you guys, chop it up. You guys know how we do. Or maybe they'll end up opening an hour early. We'll figure out exactly once I have those finalized details. I'll definitely let you know. But I wanted to go ahead and let you guys know that is where we'll be Fridays, home game weekends this season. Again, like we were last year. Great location. I mean, you can't beat it. It's literally right there on the strip. Easy to find, 1225 University Boulevard, man. Great food, right? Whether it's the Rotel, they got burgers, they've got wings. They got it all right there. They got TVs all throughout the venue. Plus, they've got the nightlife scene, a great place to go watch the games as well. So really excited to be back at 1225 this season. So for all you guys that have been asking, that's where we will be. So make sure you guys are marking your calendars. I know you guys have been planning your trips coming down here. We'll make sure you guys, make a stop at 1225. And we'll be doing the show live. You come hang out with me, get your game day weekend started the right way. So really excited about that. And last but not least, we got more breaking news. Tomorrow, we will be joined by Reagan Starn of R&R Cigars, who has some really, really, really exciting news for you guys. And he wanted to break it here live on the Miller's Edge. He said he wanted to do it on the show. And so I said, dude, bring it on. Let's go. And I think you guys are going to think this is really cool because he gave me a sneak peek at what it is. I'm just going to tell you. I think you guys are going to think this is really good stuff that they got brewing up. And not to mention another one of our partners, man. I'm telling you, we got a lot of stuff coming for you guys. Good Feet, they're in the works of we're partnering with them to do a big giveaway for you guys. So be on the lookout for that. Make sure you guys, stay listening. Be on the lookout for the details because we've got something planned for this football season, big giveaway that you guys get a chance to win some cool stuff. So make sure you guys are listening, subscribed, up to date with everything. Again, subscribe on YouTube at The Miller's Edge. Follow us on X at The Miller's Edge. Check us out. Facebook, we do stream as well at Tide 100.9. So make sure you guys are in the loop because there's so much stuff that we'll be throwing y'all's way, man. And it's exciting, man. Just trust me on this one. Really exciting stuff, and I'm just so glad that we can do it for you guys. That being said, we got to hit a timeout. When we come back, I'll discuss this weekend's practice recap, kind of just what we gathered, right? We've got plenty of practice clips. We'll pull it up. We'll kind of, highlight some guys. Because I know a lot of you have been asking about certain players. I got to put my eyes on them, so I'll give you some updates on that as well. And we'll keep on rolling. We'll hear from Kalen DeBoer from his press conference from yesterday. Probably hear from LT and Keon Sabb a little bit. And there's some other videos we might dive into if we have time. But per usual, don't forget, hit us up, 205-342-9904. That is the number to the phone lines. You guys want to get in on the conversation, got any thoughts, anything like that? Or you can always drop it in the chat. Join us on YouTube. You know how we do. Got interactive chat. You guys can drop your questions, all that stuff. We can discuss everything we're talking about live on air and in there. And I can talk with you during the break. So we're about to get rolling right here on this Monday edition of the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's arch support experts. Quick timeout. We'll be right back.
The Tide 100.9 WTBC 1230 Sports Radio studio is presented by B-Dry, Alabama.
What's up, guys? Justin, Mike, what's going on? Michael Smith. Smitty, is that you? Just change your name? Is that you, Smitty? Marcus, what's going on, man? Good morning. Chad, what's up, man? From Savannah, Georgia. Welcome in, bro. Savannah's really nice, man. My open this up a little bit, get some more light. Yeah, it's a little bit better. My grandparents used to be in Savannah a good bit, man. I never really went too much. I've been there before, but I do know it's a really cool place. Really cool place, man. Got to hit 12 September 12. Absolutely, brother. Please do. Yeah, we'll do that. And then we'll try to see if we can sneak you over into the complex for a little bit. Like I promised you, Mike. I gotta be careful though. Everybody's gonna be like, hey, I want to get that. Maybe we'll do like a little giveaway, do something like that. I already promised Mike that, so I'm honoring my word on that. Mike's my guy. He's been locked in for a while. All of you guys are my people. But I told Mike, man, I wanted to make his trip special. It's been quite some time that he's been able to make a game. He's been taking care of his fam and hadn't been able to get down here, and he finally is. So I wanted to make sure we could do that. Arthur, what's going on, brother? How's everybody? Everybody seems like they're in a good mood today. Ephraim, what's up? Guess who's back? What's up, brother? Everyone everywhere, no doubt, bro. Yeah, we got people from all over, man. I love it, man. Let me get Chad's question real quick. Kenji, what's up? Welcome in. LK, what's going on? Close to the first Monday pass football games. Hey, you already know. Mondays are going to be, this is going to be the place to be. If you guys are looking for a game recap, make sure you're here every Monday, because I'm telling you, I might even come up with like a segment name for it. But you guys know how we are, man. We're always breaking down football. So Mondays are going to be our heavy hitters. We're breaking stuff down. I don't know if I want to do Thursday or Friday for like the preview day. I mean, hell, we could even do Wednesday. Wait, Title Towel just said Ellis is handling business at Malmore. Hold on, wait, but what time though? I can't miss it, man. Obviously, if it's during the show, I have no choice. Guys, if you're wondering what we're talking about, Ellis, Caveman Ellis, that is one of our frequents, man. He's been a supporter for a long, long time. He's attending something that they have for Yay Alabama members, where they're allowing these guys to go through football drills. And I told him, I'm like, I'm going to be up there to help assist him through these drills. But I needed the time. I think he's on the phone line. So what we'll do is I'll go to the phone lines real quick, because I don't know what his schedule is, and I'll throw these highlights on the screen too for you guys. Dang, I hope he didn't already do it. You guys think it was in the morning? I hope he didn't already do it. Dwight, yes, sir. We're back. What's up, bro? Everybody's in here. I love it. And welcome back into this Monday edition of the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's art support experts, man. We got everybody in here, man. I love it, man. This is a great way to start a Monday, man. I appreciate it. I just want to tell you guys, thank you guys so much, man. We're growing and growing. Obviously, radio has been doing its thing. We've been, crushing it there, and big thanks to all you guys there. And obviously, we're back on our YouTube platform at the same time, and it's just growing. And I just want to tell all you guys that tune in, man. Thank you guys so much, because honestly, man, it's really about you guys. We just enjoy having fun, talking football, and you guys make it what it is, man. Your interactions, your phone calls, all your support, man. It makes the Miller's Edge the Miller's Edge. So I appreciate you guys, man, and all your support. Really do, man. We got a great community, and I just know not only me, even Chase, man. We're hanging out here watching wrestling, man. It's just something that we're really proud of and enjoy doing. So I really just want to tell you guys, thank you guys so much, man, because it's y'all it's like a little family, man. We got to come up with a name for it too. It's something. I mean, obviously, always like maybe like the Edge. I don't know, but you guys can drop some ideas in the chat, and hell, if you guys come up with the name, maybe I'll hook you up with something special. But we need a name for our family over here. Well, really in general, right? Radio and on the stream. Anyway, with that being said, we're going to go to the phone lines real quick, because Ellis is on here. I need to get these details, because I'm telling you guys, we can't miss out on Ellis doing these drills. As you guys see on the YouTube stream right now, these guys are doing individual drills at practice, or they were. This is from this past weekend. This video is from Saturday. You see the linebacker drills, getting in their drops, working on their 45-degree angles right there and getting into a reroute. Ellis, I don't know what he has going, but if he's doing some of this, man, I can definitely help him out there. That being said, Chase, let's go ahead and get Ellis on here so we can get these details and figure out exactly. Ellis, please tell me you haven't already gone up there and ran these drills, man. Please tell me it hadn't happened.
No, no, not yet. I'm in line to get the picture taken with Williams.
Oh, they got Ryan Williams taking pictures with you guys?
Yeah, I got a picture with Ty Simpson a while ago.
Nice.
So,
dang. So
yeah.
you must be like a premium member. You must have that like top tier membership. They got you getting personal photos taken, running through football drills. They're taking care of you, Ellis. All right, now I don't know what membership you got, but it's got to be a good one, huh?
The Yay Alabama membership.
Yeah, but I'm saying, I don't think everybody gets that luxury, Ellis. You must be a top dog in the program. I love it.
This is at the Bill Battle faculty. It said Hank Crisp, but on the building it says Bill Battle.
So, wait, Hank Crisp indoor facility, I think, is what we call the indoor. But you said the Bill Battle. So, wait, let me think. But you're in Malmore, right? You're in the football facility, right? Like next to the basketball stadium?
You pass to Malmore and turn, and when you pass to Malmore, you'll turn right. There's like a gate you have to go to right there.
Yeah.
You turn right, and it's that building right there.
So you're near
I might have to call you back.
Yeah.
I'm getting close to getting my picture taken.
Hey, listen, man, Ellis, I love that you just tell me what time do you think you'll be doing the drills? Is it during the show, or you think it'll be later?
I don't know. I'll find out. I'll let you know. I'll call you. I'll call and let you know.
Yeah. Well, enjoy your time, man. Yeah, I appreciate you hitting us up. But yeah, enjoy. Get all those pictures and autographs stuff you got to do. But if you
if you ain't a member of Yay Alabama, you need to be, people. If you're listening.
There you go. Hey, and Ellis, if it happens to be during the show, man, you better tell somebody to record you because we have to see these clips, Ellis. I'm telling you, we got to see them. So if I can't make it up there, you got to record it, please.
I will. I got to go. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, brother. All right, good deal. So there you go. So Ellis just called us from the line. I guess he's about to get his picture taken with Ryan Williams. So good stuff. So like he said, if you guys want to get access to that kind of stuff, Yay Alabama is where you can do it. All right, that being said, let's dive into a little bit of a little recap here. So we got some highlights on the screen right here. I'm trying to think back of some news and notes from Saturday because, again, they practice Saturday and Sunday. I guess I can start here because QD mentioned it in the chat, and he asked about Jaden Roberts because I know people saw during the media portion that he was working in with the second-team offensive line. QD says, what's up with that? It must be good competition or great competition at those guard spots. And I'll say this, man, you can't get too caught up when you see depth charts this early, especially like at a position like offensive line. Now is the time where you're working guys in at different spots, right? And Coach DeBoer actually answered that question during his media period because someone actually asked him about that. And what he was saying was Geno Vandermark, who was the transfer from, was it Michigan State, wherever he came from last year, he's like that Swiss Army knife, and that was the term that Kalen DeBoer used. He can line up everywhere. They got him as a backup center, right? But he also plays guard, and he does a good job at it. And Kalen DeBoer had, basically noted that his ability, get on guys, lock in on guys, and really just, do a good job, block, because they know he's a smart dude. I mean, anytime you got a player that can, move along the offensive line, you got to be smart to handle that load. So they know he could do that, but it sounds like they've been really pleased with his progression just as a player, just his consistency, being able to block both in the run game, but even in the passing game. And so I think, and one thing we know about this staff, I mean, number one, they rotate, but two, their goal is to get the best players out there. And I think they view him as a guy that, he can play pretty much any position. We know guys get banged up. I mean, I'm not saying Jaden Roberts is, vulnerable to getting banged up, but let's just be honest here. He's been pretty, banged up throughout his career this far. I think they just want to get, a number of guys working in, right, and with different groups. Offensive line chemistry is a big deal, And so you just want to work them at different spots. So I think they'll have him work at right guard some days. I think other days they'll have him work at left guard. Other times he's going to be getting his reps at center. And I think what's going to happen is you're going to end up having like a 6-man starting offensive line unit. And I know you're kind of like, what does that mean? That means you kind of got a swing guy, which he's your swing guy. And basically what it is, it's a good problem to have. You've got 6 guys that you feel comfortable as, pretty much saying they are starters. And so basically if you got a guy's banged up one week, you just throw him in there, right? Because it's not like you're throwing in a backup. He's basically like your swing starter. And I think that's kind of their game plan with him. But he's been really impressive. And speaking of offensive line, I'll throw a name out there who just kept popping. Michael Carroll. I was watching, them just get after it. Not even really just watching the offensive line specifically. I was just watching them practice. And he just kept flashing. I told you guys, I mean, like, to me, when you're watching, practice, right? Yeah, you can either, try to tune in, like I'll try to watch like certain plays, right? Like try to watch certain guys, certain positions, stuff like that. I wasn't even really trying to watch the offensive line. I was trying to watch, some of the edge guys. That's probably why it flashed so quick, but he just kept flashing. And I'll say this, man, he's a physical guy. I remember we watched his tape. I remember saying, his footwork, if he can clean up his footwork, he'll be even that much better. But, physicality was never a problem of his with his high school tape. And I'll be honest with you guys, this completely translated over to college this far. And he's been very impressive. And they've got him working at tackle right now. I know he's got some time playing a little bit of guard. I think in the spring he played some guard too, but right now they're working him at tackle. And I think, he looks really good at that tackle spot, right? Even 78, I think the other young guy, the tackle they brought in from California, he looks to be, a solid player. Again, for a guy that just got here that, is a true freshman, those 2 offensive linemen that they brought in, and again, they're playing tackle right now, to me, they look very promising for the future, right? Obviously you got Caden Proctor right now. You got Wilkin at right tackle. He's competing and stuff. But, maybe Michael Carroll is, on his toes, kind of pushing at that right tackle spot. But nonetheless, those 2 tackles, to me, it makes you feel good knowing that, all right, the 2 young guys that they brought in, because I'm just going to be completely honest with you guys, because I know a lot of times people just go, oh, we got this guy in the offensive line. We got this guy we brought in. And they go off rankings. But let's just be completely honest, guys. I feel like we haven't been landing the same quality offensive lineman that we had in years past. And I'm not talking about I'm talking about before Coach DeBoer got here. I'm saying like Coach Saban's last few years. The guys might have had the stars. They might have had the notoriety, but they weren't really panning out and looking like the same type of players we had seen, or it was taking them a lot longer to develop. The fact that these 2 players, these 2 offensive linemen from, Kalen DeBoer's first class appear to be promising. Again, it's way too early. I don't want to put expectations or things on guys that haven't played, real snaps yet. But when you see a true freshman, working the way they're working, and again, it's not like they're just like working with the 3s or something. No, they're getting reps like with the 2s. So they're going against, some guys that have been around here, and they're holding their own really well. It's very promising. So that was something that stood out in terms of offensive line. I'll say both days, man, I think, a lot of balance, a lot of good back and forth, which is what you want out of practice. Some good physical, practices going on over the weekend, which is nice to see. Another young guy that he just kind of pops, man. And we hadn't really talked about him too much, but I think he did. He turned some heads during the spring a little bit. Derek Meadows. He was really he keeps flashing. He just keeps showing up. And a matter of fact, you're talking about a dude that he stands out because of his size already. He looks damn near 6'6". I don't know what he's listed at, maybe 6'5", who knows, but really tall player. But for his size, he moves extremely well. And he made a number of plays, man. He just kept making play after play, it felt like. And he was another one of those young guys that I wanted just to show some love and bring up, because I definitely think that he's got a promising future. Again, the younger guys that I'm naming, I wouldn't necessarily say I'm expecting to see them right away. I feel like our football team has a lot of depth right now. But without a doubt, they've shown a lot of promise thus far. And again, we're still very early in the camp. There's a lot of work. And which leads me to another guy we're seeing right here, Mincy. I know we talked so much about Bray. Shout out to Bray, who came on the show. You guys missed that, man. Check that interview out. Really good interview. Keon Sabb. But obviously with Keon still working back from some stuff, that gives opportunities to guys like Mincy. Mincy has, gotten his fair share, and he's been really impressive. A lot of people are excited about Mincy, and he looks great. He moved from cornerback to safety, and I think it's a really good fit. He obviously already had the size for it. He's a bigger guy, as you can see him working, but I think his role at safety is good. And even though, again, you play with two, safeties typically, nothing wrong with having, again, kind of like a swing guy that I mean, whether you're rotating, which they like to do, whether there's different packages. I think it's just another signal that this team has some really good depth at a lot of key areas. We're seeing the defensive line work right here. Beeman, I've mentioned him in the past already, but you see him working right there. For a bigger guy, man, he's explosive, he's powerful, he's heavy-handed, and I think there's a good chance you see his role increase, significantly this year. Obviously, you got Tim Keenan, James Smith; those guys are like the big names that you expect a lot from. But in terms of guys that you look to that are looking to have expanded roles, Beeman, he just keeps kind of flashing. Watch him go through these drills. Another guy, Henry, right here, 14. He's a newer guy. Interesting thing about him, he's put on a good bit of weight. I mean, he's up to about 265, and you can clearly tell, but he's still able to hold on to some of that explosiveness, or really all of it. So they got some depth, man. Just seeing these guys work, they got some depth. But again, Beeman, you see him working right here. You see it, he was a guy that came in lighter and he put on a lot of weight. Typically, the way that works is if you put on the right weight, man, these guys hold on to that explosiveness, and you see that. Kind of reminds you like Isaiah Buggs, right? Isaiah Buggs. Now, when he got here, he was already big, but in high school, Buggs was like 240. So Buggs has always been an athlete. Buggs was the type that, I think I'm streaming the stream on here. I meant to click the the highlights again. Buggs was an athlete, and so even though once he got bigger, Buggs playing like 300 pounds, he retained that athleticism. I think that's kind of what you see out of the guys that they bring in, whether it's Jordan Renaud, who put on some weight, Henry, even Beeman. Those guys were athletes before they put on that weight, so they're able to retain that, and they're able to still utilize that skill set, but now being bigger and stronger and physically imposing. So again, I think there's a lot of promise that I'm seeing. Still a lot of work to be done, no doubt about it. Still, want to see the pass rush kind of come to life, which we'll see that, over, the course of this training camp. And hopefully by the time the season comes, we'll have that answer. Again, that was kind of like my biggest question. Who will step up? Still feel really great about Quay. I mean, if I had to guess kind of how this plays out, and if you look at the screen, you can see Derek Meadows and his size compared to these other receivers. I mean, it's it's kind of crazy, but I would say you got Quay Russaw, right? He's going to be all around your top guy, and I've already gone on there. Just to recap, Latham is going to be kind of that his partner in crime in terms of at least on the first, second down looks, right? Yonze Pierre, I think, is who they're expecting to be that third guy, and that's who I would probably pencil in as being that guy to step up. And I mentioned like being the counterpart to Quay in terms of from a pass rush standpoint. I think the expectation is for him to take that next step. I mean, he's got the tools, man, and he's just still working to put it together. But I think if he can have a really good camp and really just keep climbing the ladder, I think that is, I guess, like the expected answer to my question when I ask about that counterpart to a guy like Quay Russaw. Speaking of that room, though, man, I know we talked about Justin Hill, and I'm just really impressed by him. And I got to chop it up with him at practice yesterday. We just talked some pass rush stuff, kind of I was picking his brain on kind of, what he likes to do and kind of, put him on some game or whatever. He had mentioned that they because what they have like these teach tapes, like when they want to show guys like, hey, this is a technique we want to use. He was talking about how they were showing like some of my clips on some of the technique stuff. And so we kind of walked through that. But that dude's got such a bright future, man. I'm telling you guys right now, he's going to be a dog, man. And he works hard. He was, kind of getting some mental reps by himself after practice. And that's how we started chopping it up. But that being said, I definitely went way over. There's plenty more to break down still. I only talked about maybe 2 or 3 spots. That being said, let's take this time out so we can get back on schedule. And I'm going to go to y'all's questions. I see you got a few things in the chat here on YouTube. Again, check us out on YouTube, The Miller's Edge. We're streaming live. You can watch me do the show. Plus, we got the highlights on the screen. That way you can see what I'm talking about, breaking it down. But when we come back, I'll continue to recap kind of, some observations from this weekend. Plus, we'll hear from Coach DeBoer. He'll talk about where they're at through 4 days of training camp. Again, they are off today, but when they come back tomorrow, they get back to it. And first scrimmage is approaching us, man. He talked about kind of what he wanted to see, at least from the quarterback spot. But first scrimmage is always going to be an interesting one, man. It's the first time really getting after it. And it gives you a better idea and kind of, because it's like your first game-like scenario. And, yeah, man, I'm excited for it. So that's coming up really soon. So we're diving deep into training camp already. It's flying by. But quick timeout, and we'll continue to talk about it right here on the Miller's Edge. Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Art Sport Experts. We'll be right back.
Page.
All right, let's see. See what you guys got. There's Q06. What up? I need to turn that fan off. I'm cold, man. My hair is still wet. Miller Nation, not bad, not bad. The Miller Axe. M Train. Those are pretty good. Those are pretty good. I need to write them down. Excuse me. Yes, sir. Get those likes up, guys. It always helps us out. Just helps the algorithm, man. That's all it does. But definitely is a good help pushing the show. And make sure you guys share it too. You guys got any friends, family, whoever that you think will like the content, man. Make sure you guys share it. I wouldn't start loss in game one. Anyone else agree? Need them at least 90%. Look, I think it's look, depending on how he's feeling physically, I agree with you, but I agree with you meaning like just seeing where he's at physically, right? Keon Sabb, similar thing, kind of working back. They're getting reps. I mean, they're in their practice, and I think it's just more so of like kind of a load thing, right? Like they're cleared to go. Like if you needed them to play, like they're cleared to play. From my understanding. Now that don't mean like they're going to be expected to be 100%, but I mean, in my eyes, and I think one of them or one of the coaches made this comment, like the fact that wait, what are you talking about? Q06, did radio ratings fall since YouTube? No, I mean, no, not. Are you just saying because more people are hanging out over here? No, I don't think so at all. No, I mean, I think YouTube's kind of its own crowd. You got to remember too. I mean, there's a lot of people that just enjoy radio. But no, I mean, no. From my understanding, no, radio's big. If anything, radio is just expanding the platform. It's just we're just because we do it at the same time. But yeah, no. But I mean, that's what you got to do nowadays, man. Technology and stuff. People want to be able to see things. It's just expanding. But yeah, no, we ain't worried about that, brother. No, we're doing better than ever. But yeah, no, but with Deontay, it's really just about how confident he feels, right? From a health standpoint, he should be cleared to go. But that's what I was saying. If these guys are out there practicing, going through everything, there shouldn't be a concern. For example, like with my bicep, right? When I came back from my torn bicep, like I was not 100%. Like I wasn't. I was not 100%. But I was cleared to play. Like, I mean, I had my brace on there. I was good to go. But did I feel 100% on that arm? Hell no.
611.
But I wanted to play.
On Tide 100.9.
Wait. Oh, it's commercial. Let's bring up the next practice. Hold on. And welcome back into this Monday edition of Miller's Edge. Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Art Sport Experts. If you guys haven't checked them out already, man, make sure you guys do. Again, they've got those art sports, premium art sports that are designed to eliminate and alleviate all types of pain, whether it's foot pain, knee pain, back pain, you name it, they knock it out, right? You just throw these art sports in your shoes and they get to work, man. You get back to your business per usual. So make sure you guys check them out. Midtown Village, where you can find them here in Tuscaloosa. Walk-ins are welcome, or you can go to their website and schedule an appointment, goodfeet.com. But I'm telling you guys, you will not be disappointed. Just give them a try, right? That's all you got to do. And I promise you'll at least walk out of there really considering, getting you some March Sports from there, because they've changed my life, dealing with a lot of quad tendonitis from playing football, man. It's a pain. It sucks, right? But being able to get rebalanced and then fixing the problem at my base, which is my feet, was able to knock out that pain, man, and really help me out. So make sure you guys check them out. Goodfeet.com, again, Midtown Village here. They are nationwide, so make sure you go to the website and find the nearest location. You just type in your zip code at goodfeet.com. Again, that is a Good Feet store, improving the quality of people's lives 2 feet at a time. All right, we got practice number 2 from this weekend on the screen. As you guys see these receiver drills, again, Derek Meadows, man, is tall as hell, but again, he just kept flashing, man. But anyway, so much depth in that room. Another guy, Rico Scott, right there, you see on the screen, really impressive. I know they were asking about either receiver or a couple guys, and obviously his name came up, talking about how physical he is, a guy that can play all those positions, man. To me, I think you can go ahead and start penciling him at that wide receiver 4 spot. I know a lot of people, you see Mbakwe there, and we got to update on him. Cole Adams, another guy. Again, there's so many options, but Rico Scott, again, going back to the first day I saw him in spring, you guys can go back and listen to the show. I told you guys, I mean, he flashed. He's one of those guys that flashed. And it was funny because after that, people kept asking about the receiver room, and he just kept popping up. And I think he's only, proven more and more. As you see, I mean, he looked like he was the second guy in line during receiver drill. So they got a lot of respect for him. They're really excited about him. Mbakwe, a lot of people, they keep asking about him. Well, I'll say this. I was talking to some of the guys, and they said, man, he's been making plays. They've been really impressed with him. So I don't think he's completely lost in the sauce. And I know there's a lot of depth over there, and I think his skill set's probably a little bit different than some of the other guys, given his background, his history playing like quarterback. I mean, I'm not saying, again, this is going to sound crazy when you first hear it, but hear me out, though. Kind of how, you can kind of get into some, not gimmicky stuff, but you're talking about, jets, screen type stuff. I think Mbakwe definitely is one of those guys that would excel in that area. So maybe you see, some roles in that capacity, but without a doubt, I mean, he's definitely, proven that he belongs in that receiver room, right? I still think he would have been probably the Husky on defense if he stayed there, but looked like he wanted to play offense. But anyway, he's holding his own, he's impressing, and he's finding his footing. Obviously it's going to be cleared out a lot better next year, but we'll see kind of how much of a role he can carve out. But he's doing some good stuff at the receiver spot, as you see him right there with the catch. Quarterback play, man, guys are bringing it. I'll say this, man. I mentioned him last week, but just to recap again, or really go over this weekend, is when you watch Keelan Russell, man, the development already is there, both physically, as you can see right there. Physically, he's gotten bigger, but even just his ability to take command of the offense, going through his progressions, his decision making, it's like sped up. He just looks so much more comfortable. He already was making the throws and just impressing you with his just natural athletic ability, and that just continues to flash. And I'll be completely honest with you. I mean, it's clear as day. I mean, he's definitely, whenever he does get that opportunity, man, he's going to be a top guy at the quarterback position, right? Again, not trying to sell guys way too early before they play, but just from my football eyes, just getting to see him work, he, without a doubt, man, he's just got that it factor, right? I still think, right now, Ty is the guy for this year. He's, definitely proven that, he's been putting in the work over the years. We're seeing, all that pay off right now, but there's no denying that Keelan Russell, he has the highest ceiling out of that group. And when he does get that opportunity, man, I just feel like he's just going to be, he just has that factor, man. I'm like, his touch with the football, just his vision. If you listen to Grubb, that's what they talk about. It's like, he just had, like, to be that quarterback, man, like he's got those tools. He's got those intangibles to go along with those physical tools, man, and he's going to be a good player. I mentioned the defensive line earlier. We talked a little bit about offensive line, kind of that rotation that you got going on right now. Tight ends, I think they got asked about that. There wasn't too much on that, but I'll just say I think that room's an interesting room. You brought in a number of new guys. I know Pritchett, Marshall right there, who's getting some work coming off that knee injury. A lot of people are expecting him to step up. Obviously, still got Danny Lewis, but I think from my perspective, that room, Cuevas, he's the guy. Then you got Danny Lewis, and I'd probably say Marshall Pritchett. Those three guys are probably your top 3 tight ends. Then we'll kind of see who else ends up working in that room. But definitely a room that you probably need to focus on too, because I feel like that is a room that there are some question marks there, kind of how that comes. But Cuevas obviously comes back, him and Danny having the most experience there. And then you got the freshman right there who's really impressive, but again, trying to kind of find its foot. And I think the way Coach DeBoer described it was, some guys are kind of swimming, right? Everything's new. They're just kind of getting into it, figuring it out. But that's part of it. So we hit on receivers, hit on quarterbacks, running backs. This last one I think we need to hit real quick. I got to see Dre Washington. Really impressive, man. Really impressive. I shouldn't have been sleeping on him, but I was. Unfortunately, I was sleeping on him just because I was focusing on Jam and Daniel and Richard Young. But there's no denying that Dre Washington's a good player, man. And the coaches have been really pleased with what they've seen out of him. And, I think he's going to find ways to carve out, some roles. But when it comes to running back, just so you guys know, one good way to really separate yourself, and I think I heard one of the coaches mention this actually, but I'll tell you this right now. The things like pass pro, being able to block, third down protection-wise, if you can't do that, that already just kind of puts a little strike on you. Not saying you're not going to play, but you're going to get less opportunities. The reason Jam is, the clear number one guy, in my opinion, if you go back and watch, he was one of the best pass protector that we had. Justice Haynes, I feel like, struggled. But Jam, he wasn't afraid to put his nose in there. You got to be able to be physical. You got to be able to scan and understand who you're blocking. That's huge, man. The ability to block as a running back. Coach Burns, who was our running back coach, man, if you couldn't block on third down, you weren't playing. And so I think, to me, obviously you got Jam, but between, Richard Young, Daniel Hill, and even Dre, I think between those 3 guys, if they really want to separate themselves, I would say probably separating yourself by blocking like that, some of those physical tools that outside of running the football could maybe give them a leg up. But I think you got a solid running back room, really, and I think Dre has had some really nice practices. If I'm missing anything, let me know, guys. I think we've pretty much hit everything, but we got to hit another timeout. When we come back, we'll kind of wrap up the weekend practices and all that good stuff that we've been talking about. We will hear from Coach DeBoer. 205-342-9904 is the number. If you guys want to get in on the conversation, if you guys got any more questions that you want to discuss, hit us up. I want to say we are free on the phone lines. Obviously, we got plenty to discuss here in the YouTube chat. We are live on YouTube. Come hang out with us. Come hang out in the chat at the Miller's Edge on YouTube. We can talk about it and more coming up right here. Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Quick timeout. We'll be right back. Let's see. Washington is a good get. Jam was the only one with a lot of college carries. Yeah, but Richard looks good. I'll be honest. He's been looking good. Daniel Hill, man, he's physical, man. He's just a big back. Offers something different. But now with Dre, man, he's had some really good practices, man. So I think they're feeling good about that running back room right now. Will they tackle to the ground Saturday scrimmage? Yes. It will be full go. Indeed. Oh, there's no sound on there, damn. Hold on, give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to keep this playing real quick.
Sokol Park. First, I want to thank all of our thousands of loyal customers that have supported us. But there are so many people that still don't know about the venue. There are 5 restaurants open daily with indoor and outdoor dining. The 5 restaurants circle a humongous courtyard that at times welcomes live music and events, but every day is a place that you can hang out, eat, or let the kids play in the wall ball area. We're the only place your party size doesn't matter. Focused on family, come visit one of the 5 restaurants at the venue Tuscaloosa.
The Alabama Securities Commission protects you from financial fraud. Anyone asking you for investment money must be licensed. You're careful with your money. Fraudsters aren't. Before you invest, call our hotline at 1-800-222-1253 to verify the licensing of the person making an offer and the product. Don't lose your hard-earned money. Learn to protect yourself at asc.alabama.gov. Paid for by the Investor Protection Trust and brought to you by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
365, 24/7. You'll find road and utility crews, tow truck, law enforcement, and first responders working along Alabama's roadway.
We're making improvements and helping helping our communities stay connected.
We're working hard to make sure you're safe on the road. Now we need your help to make sure we're safe too.
Alabama's move over law requires you to move over a lane when you see flashing lights on the roadside. And if you can't safely move over, please slow down.
Visit DriveSafeAlabama.org, brought to you by the Alabama Department of Transportation, Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. It paid for me to be the first person in my family to go to school. That education got me to the first day at my dream job, which I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job and the home loan benefits I got from the Army National Guard helped me buy my first house. I also know that I will be one of the first to respond if my community ever needs me.
Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard. Aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
From our home base in Birmingham, Alabama, we are here treating patients from every generation across the United States and from around the world. We're here for the rookies and the dreamers, trying to make a name for themselves. We're here for the achievers,
who are resilient
and won't take no for an answer. We're here for the coaches,
athletic trainers, and mentors
who are shaping the next generation of legends. We are here for you, aggressively pursuing
victory over injury.
Learn more at andrewsportsmedicine.com.
Hey, it's Christian Miller, and I want to tell you about our great friends over at Brian Harding Construction. Located in the heart of Tuscaloosa, Brian Harding Construction is woman-owned and strong as steel, a specialty manufacturing firm with expertise in structural steel fabrication, ASME code piping and vessels, CNC machine work, welding, laser cutting, pipe fitting, industrial maintenance, and crane rentals. With a proven track record of over 30-plus years of experience, no one is better fit for the job. For an evaluation, contact Brian Harding Construction today at 205-752-9611. Again, that's Brian Harding Construction at 205-752-9611.
This is Miller's Edge on Tide 100.9.
And welcome back into this Monday edition of Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Matter of fact, I think today, as you guys can see on the screen, Alabama posted this. I think it's Media Day, maybe. I believe so. I think that's what I saw on the schedule, but you can see guys, strolling in there in their uniforms. Obviously, Keelan Russell feeling it a little bit, excited. It's always fun doing those media days because you get a break from practice, you get to dress up, get all those pictures and stuff done. It just is it's exciting stuff, man. Getting you ready for the year. That being said, we're about to hit our top of the hour break here in a minute. We got a few minutes. I know we got time on the phone lines. We're gonna come to him when we come back. That way we have plenty of time to get to him. So let's see if we got a couple things in the chat that we can discuss real quick. And a matter of fact, let me change my screen that way I can read this a little bit easier because I got this wide monitor, man, and the chat is like way over there. All right, here we go. And that really didn't change much, but excuse me, all good. Here we go. Chad says, Christian, I noticed that Ty Simpson likes to pat the ball before he throws it. Do you think that is a bad habit or it's normal? I think it's a normal habit for a lot of guys. I mean, you even see some guys, I think Nussmeier might do it, but I know a lot of quarterbacks, they kind of do like the little spin type deal. Are you referring actually, let me go back. Are you referring to like the pat, like before he's throwing it? Meaning like he's sitting there, he's going through his reads, he's scanning, and then when he's about to throw, you're saying he pats as he gets into his motion, meaning it could tip off the defenders? Is that what you're referring to? If so, I'll say this. I think it's a common habit that a lot of guys naturally do. Could that be what we call like birds and rabbits? Those are like little tendencies and little things you can pick up on. Could that be something the defense, especially, a defense the way like that plays the way we do, right? Trying to anticipate stuff, reading quarterbacks. Yeah, I think it can. I mean, I know a lot of NFL. I mean, look, if you go back and watch Bryce Young, I think it was maybe his rookie year when we played the Falcons, and who was like Jesse Bates. I mean, they were reading the hell out of him. And I guarantee if you asked that safety, I mean, he probably would have told you. I mean, he probably was just picking up on some of his tendencies, but I don't think it's probably that big of a deal. Now, if you have a slower, release and action, stuff like that, maybe a little bit more. But I know a lot of quarterbacks kind of do that. And other times, sometimes, I mean, you can hit them with a pump fake, right? Fake pat or something like that. But I don't think it, honestly, to answer your question, I don't think it'd be too bad of an issue or a habit by any means. Fromm says probably we'll have a good amount of soft tissue injuries after the scrimmages Saturday. Don't wish that on them. But to be fair, first scrimmage, I mean, there can be some stuff, some tweaks here and there, but hopefully the way they're doing things, like their practice schedule, hopefully that helps kind of, I guess, lower the amount of injuries or things, right? I mean, because when you're going like 2 days on, 1 day off, I feel like it is giving your body a little bit more time to, recuperate and get back to full strength. So hopefully, we walk away relatively clean, but that is something you always, that's a possibility when you go into these scrimmages, because they are full go. It's live. To answer your question again, it's a live scrimmage. Tackle is, it's to the ground. It's everything. It's basically simulating a game, but quarterbacks are obviously off limits. But sometimes, and I think the way they do it too, though, I think they used to, the first time they were doing scrimmages was more like an actual game format where they were really just kind of driving and doing a bunch of that, at least during the spring. And then they kind of started getting more into like how we used to do it. We used to section it up. So like we would cover all different scenarios. So we would have like a red zone period. We'd have a move the ball period. We'd have a coming out period where, offense is literally on like the 2-yard line coming out. We'd have a third down and blitz emphasis period. We'd have a 2-minute period. So I imagine they're probably going to do that because they started doing more of that last year. And I think it's just good because you get to really like harp on, situational football and get those, reps in there and have the tape to go back and discuss it. But that being said, we're about to hit our top of the hour break here now. We come back. We keep on rolling. We got Tommy. We'll go to the phone lines, 205-342-9904. If you guys want to join in on the conversation, again, you heard my recap from this past weekend. Again, 2 practices. They, went to work. They were in shell, so it was a lot more physical. I believe tomorrow will be the first full pad day. So that's exciting. But if you guys got anything, hit us up. Let me know. Plus, we got to get to Kalen DeBoer, his press conference, some other things to break down in hour number 2, right here on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Arch Sport experts. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
WTBC Tuscaloosa and W265CG.
Let's see. What else we got? Anything you guys have seen that you want us to cover? I hadn't even really been on our Twitter much today. I don't know if you guys have seen anything. Let me see. Is this from what day is this? Okay, yeah, this is press conference from yesterday, so we got that potted up. What else do we need?
Our victory for William Byron at Iowa. Chase Briscoe finished second after starting from the pole. Cameron Young was the PGA winner in North Carolina. WNBA victories for New York and Indiana. The Phillies shut out the Tigers 2-0 Sunday night. The Phils are first in the NL East, half game over the Mets, who lost in New York to the Giants 12-4. The Braves beat the Reds 4-2 at Bristol Motor Speedway in Tennessee. The Dodgers and Padres each won. The Cubs homered in the 9th to beat Baltimore 5-3.
The Tide 100.9 WTBC 1230 Sports Radio studio is presented by B-Dry Alabama. B-Dry Waterproofing. Online at bdryalabama.com.
From our home base in Birmingham, Alabama, we are here treating patients from every generation
across the United States
and from around the world. We're here for the rookies and the dreamers, trying to make a name for themselves. We are here for the achievers,
who are resilient
and won't take no for an answer. We're here for the coaches,
athletic trainers, and mentors
who are shaping the next generation of legends. We are here for you, aggressively pursuing
victory over injury.
Learn more at andrewsportsmedicine.com.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. It paid for me to be the first person in my family to go to school. That education got me to the first day at my dream job, which I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job and the home loan benefits I got from the Army National Guard helped me buy my first house. I also know that I will be one of the first to respond if my community ever needs me.
Sponsored by the Alabama
Tristan,
Army
what's
National
up, man?
Guard, aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
Are you receiving unemployment? Your benefits could be at risk. Here's how you can protect yourself and your benefits. Never respond to mail notifying.
For Alabama here, season preview. It's sort of a different vibe around Tuscaloosa. There's no portal churn, especially after the spring. They didn't really have guys hit the exit door. Quite the opposite. They had a lot of guys who could have hit the exit door, probably for more money elsewhere. Probably some of these guys could have been second rounders, third rounders in the NFL draft. Kind of an Ohio State vibe in that they had a lot of guys, a nucleus come back last year. That team goes on to win a title. This Alabama team will go on to do ... That's kind of what we're here for.
We'll get into that video here in a minute.
Thunderstorms.
Any word on Fan Day?
80. I'm James Fan.
I'll be honest with you. I'm not too sure. But if I hear something, I'll let you guys know.
John Tide 100.9.
Okay, I got you, Chad. Here, excuse me. I'll answer that in a second. I got you. And welcome back into this Monday edition of Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Arch Support Experts. All right. So hour number one, man, we recapped really this past weekend. 2 practices in the books, first 2 shell practices, a break today before Alabama hits their first padded practice tomorrow as they keep inching closer and closer to their first scrimmage. So we're in the thick of it now, man. This is real thing. This is where things really start heating up. I think they have media day today. But once they hit the ground running tomorrow, man, I think kind of that acclimation period is kind of slowly kind of dissipating, and then it's really going to be hitting the ground running, really, getting after it, which is good, man. I think these guys need some work like that. I'll be honest with you, man. I come from a training camp where steaming hot. I mean, it was miserable, just straight work after work after work. You got to have some of those experiences, man. That's what builds mental toughness. I think they'll have the opportunity to do that. It's only going to get hotter. Practice is going to get harder, and then you really find out, what you're made of once you get to this point. I'll say about next week, after you get a scrimmage in, then you got to hit the ground running again, do it all over again. You really start, having to dig deep. So we'll definitely find out more about that. So quick little notes as we kick off hour number 2. I want to recap again for you guys that are just now tuning in. Officially, we will be doing the show live Fridays at 12:25, where we did the shows last year. I know a lot of you guys got to come out and hang out, and it just kept getting better and better. And it was a lot of fun, man. Great food, great times. They got great drinks, great location right there on the strip. So it's walking distance to the stadium and all the other stuff that's around there. 1225 University Boulevard is where you can find them. But again, we will be doing the show live at 12:25. Really excited for that. So if you guys want to come watch me do the show live, I know we got a lot of you watching me do the show live on YouTube now, but if you guys want to come hang out physically and watch me do the show live, we will be doing that at 12:25 here in Tuscaloosa Friday. So make sure you guys mark your calendars, come hang out with us, man. Get your game day weekend started the right way. It's going to be a lot of fun, man. Really looking forward to it, and so excited to be able to share that with you guys this Monday. Some other notes that I want to hit. Preseason coaches poll appears to be out, allegedly. I'm seeing this on Twitter right now from Ross Dellinger. So I trust him. He's the one that has all the scoop on all that NIL. So I think it's with Yahoo Sports or something like that. Anyway, so you got Texas coming in at number 1 in the coaches poll. Ohio State, number 2. Penn State, number 3. Georgia, number 4. Notre Dame, 5. Clemson, 6. Oregon, 7. Alabama 8, LSU 9, Miami 10. So that's your top 10 for the coaches poll that just came out. Some other, let's look at some other teams that stand out. South Carolina, number 13. Got to always shout them out for my dad. Not a bad spot. Some people are a little kind of on the fence about South Carolina. We'll see how that plays out. Ole Miss 15, Florida 17, Tennessee 18. Looking at Alabama's schedule, they have to face, according to this preseason coaches poll, number 18, Tennessee, number 13, South Carolina on the road, Number 9, LSU at home. And number 4, Georgia on the road. So 4 teams on Alabama's schedule that make the top 20, the preseason coaches poll top 25. So there you go. But Alabama, again, coming in at number 8. So solid spot. Obviously, I think, we got room to move up, but I'll take it. Given it's a coaches poll. I respect coaches polls. I mean, look, they play against each other. They watch a lot of film. They have a decent idea of these teams. Obviously, they don't know what to expect going into the year. That's why it's a preseason poll. But I think at number 8 for Alabama landing there, I think that's fair. Given, last year, looking at this year, that's fine, man. I'm not mad at it. Not mad at it at all. Trying to see if there's anything on there that really surprises me, though. Illinois 12. Let's see. I don't know. I guess we'll circle back to that. I mean, 17 for Florida, I feel like could be a little high, but I mean, they got some pieces, they got some tools. We'll see. That being said, let's I told Chad I'd answer this question before we go to the phone lines. We're coming to you, Tommy. Don't worry. He says, I got one more for you, Christian. Do you think it irritates position coaches to have a coach like Coach Womack like hovering, I guess, or like over their shoulder? I don't think so, no. And a matter of fact, I think they asked Coach Womack when he spoke to the media Saturday about, the new role. Because last year, remember, he was listed as defensive coordinator, but also linebacker coach. But and this one real public knowledge, but I mean, they mentioned it now. But Chuck Morrell really was serving as a linebacker coach even last year. He won, he wasn't a on-field coach, right? There's a numbers game, but in terms of really working with the guys, they really had him doing that. That being said, Kane Womack still was, helping out a lot over there. Now, with Chuck being a full-time, assistant coach, he does have the opportunity to really go around and work with whatever group. I don't think it really bothers, position coaches because number one, he's the defensive coordinator. And so he's got that. He's going to be able to have that, ability, right? I mean, that's his choice. But 2, he's not like overstepping. I don't ever see him like taking over a drill. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he'll have a correction, right? For the guys, but he's never like taking over the drill. He's letting those guys, coach their guys up. So to answer your question, I personally don't think it's really a problem. I mean, I can't speak for everybody. I'm sure maybe there's somebody who maybe just would rather just not have somebody, but I don't get that vibe, honestly. I don't think it's too much of a problem. And From, to answer your question, no, I have not played in Buffalo, but I have played in Green Bay. Played the Packers in Green Bay. That was cold. It was not rain, excuse me. It was snowing. Anywhere that was worse than that, I think that might have been about it. I think Green Bay probably might have been the coldest place I ever traveled to play. I mean, I played in places that are cold places naturally, but when we played them, it wasn't that cold. Like Foxborough, I went up to New England for a preseason game, and that was matter of fact, that was my first preseason game. No. We played Chicago. I played the Bears for my first ever preseason game. Yeah, my third preseason game was against Tom Brady up in Foxborough, and that was just cool as hell. That was my first year, and Wynn played Tom Brady, man, and it was just kind of crazy, man. That being your third time taking an NFL field and seeing Tom Brady run out, man, one of the coolest things, man. But, all right, let's get the phone lines like I promised. 205-342-9904. We got Tommy. Tommy, welcome in.
Hey, Christian, how are you?
I'm great, man. How are you?
I'm good. One question before we get to the serious stuff.
Talk to me.
Where is Ellis?
As a matter of fact, he just circled back on the phone lines. He said he was up at the Malmore facility or that area. He was taking pictures. He got a picture with Ty Simpson, Ryan Williams. Now he's on the phone lines again. Chase, you can't put 2 people on line at once, can you?
I believe so. We can.
If you want to try that, just so we can get an update from Ellis real quick. Tommy, stay on the line. I just want to see if Ellis has an update on where he's at or what he's doing. Ellis, you there?
Yes, sir. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. Well, we got Tommy on here with us, so we got a nice little party on the phone lines. But I wanted to bring you in because I needed my update. Did we miss it yet, or what's the latest?
I'm still waiting on drills to be run, but Not of yet, and we got 37 minutes to go.
Oh, so y'all are going to start right when we get off the air. So what I'll probably do is, as soon as
No,
I get off
I
air,
don't know if it's going to be after this or what. I don't know. They hadn't really said.
Mm.
You know, they hadn't been running no drills. They just been. They've got people that threw balls back and forth to kids and stuff, but no drills. But
maybe
that was.
Maybe that's what they meant when they said drills. Maybe they meant just like throwing a football or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I ought to text somebody and ask. Well, keep us updated.
Somebody and tell them. Should text somebody and tell them to run me through a drill there, Chris.
Hell, if you're still up there and I get to run up there real quick, man, I'll see if without it, I don't want to get in trouble though. I don't know. It might be a liability thing, but maybe I can let you do a little something. But we can't have you pull no hamstring or nothing. But Tommy was on the line and he asked about you, so he was wondering.
Yeah, well, what's up, Tommy?
Hey, man. I told Tristan we need to put a tracker on you after last year. We need to take you to the vet and put the thing under your skin where you can't scratch it or lick it so we can keep up with you.
Exactly.
I did get my picture taken. I got my picture taken with Wilkin Formby and Caden Proctor. I was like in between them. Holy cow, man.
They're big dudes, aren't they?
Huge young men right there now.
They are, man. No, they really are. They tower over. They're both probably about 6'7" apiece. So, yeah, you probably look like a little baby in between those two guys.
Yes, and I got to talk to the young man that transferred from A&M, the Pre.
Is it Cam Dewberry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he comes from. Yeah, he's really excited. He said that's the only reason that he transferred because he knew things are going to be different. So,
good deal, man.
Well, and Clinton Dix Jr. I got my picture taken with him.
Nice.
Ty Simpson. So what's that? Not Keelan Russell, but the other quarterback that come from Washington.
Austin Mack.
Yeah, I got a picture taken with him, but a lot of the big line.
Nice,
the big nasties up front.
Well, good deal, man. I love to hear it. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it, man. Well, keep us updated, Ellis. If you end up getting
I will.
Let us know. But I'll probably try to sneak up over there and see if I can holler at you at some point if you're still around.
All right, and I was going to tell you, this is more than I expected.
Oh, really? Well, hey, there you go. So if you guys are listening, again, Alabama allows you to do stuff like this if you signed up. So make sure you guys check it out.
Yeah, you just walk up and just talk to them. And every one of them sounds real positive. Every one of the players I have talked to, they are very positive, very positive. Not joking around. I mean, they're very positive about it. So.
Good deal. Well, I'm glad to hear it. Well, enjoy it, man. Make sure you get plenty of pictures and all that, and then keep us updated on everything else. I'm gonna let Tommy
yes, sir.
Get to his points. Ellis, we appreciate you, brother.
All right, roll tide, Tommy.
Roll tide, Ellis.
Good deal. Hey, look at that, Chase. I mean, we got a whole party on the phone lines, man, and two of like the most tenured listeners that probably in this station's history, man. I love it. Tommy, what you got for us, man? Sorry, I just wanted to let him get that update because everybody's wondering when he's.
Well, yeah, I want to know because he said, "I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna call you." And been raining here. The phone never rang. I'm like, he wandered off.
He's enjoying himself too much up there, man. He's loving it, man. He's hanging out with Proctor and Ty and Ryan. He might as well be a part of the offense.
Yeah, he got a new name now. He's Triple Threat Ellis from Manchester. He's like 000. Yeah. Tell me about this kid named Brooks, about his speed. Because everybody talking about this receiver, that receiver. I think they're going to use him in different ways. I can see them putting him on punt team, kickoff, because of his speed. He's more like what I would call a scat back. You might already talked about him. I missed the 30 minutes at the beginning of the show, but
Oh, no, you're good,
Can you
man.
feel me yet?
Yeah, no, actually, it's funny we didn't mention him, so I'm glad you brought him up. And what's funny is, I guess they're even doing like interviews at media day, or maybe just somebody from Bama Central just happens to be a Yay Alabama member, and I was just kind of confused because this video just popped up of Rico Scott, another receiver. But anyway, in terms of Latsier Brooks, definitely somebody to keep an eye out for. I mean, going back to this spring, I mean, I can't emphasize this enough. Talk about guys flashing and standing out. Day one, they're doing one-on-ones, and I saw him make an incredible catch. I mean, he went up and high pointed the football, insane body control, and came down with it. And I didn't know who it was because, again, he was new. I was like, who was 17? And one of the guys that works up there, he was like, man, nah, that's when the freshman we just brought in. That's lots of. He's gonna be a guy. You got to watch out for him. And sure enough, I did. And through the course of the spring, man, I mean, that wasn't like a one-off. I mean, I remember, I think in both scrimmages he had really good, really big productive days. But I know at least one of them, man. There's several plays he had in that scrimmage where Latsier Brooks literally, I mean, like his yard after catchability. I mean, he's got the speed, right? He's got the catchability. I just talked about that, but seeing him with the ball in his hands was just really impressive. I mean, he was stopping and cutting on a dime. He was making guys miss. Like it literally, like when you see those players that are just like those dynamic guys that anytime they have the ball in their hands, like there's a good chance they're going to make something happen. He's one of those guys. And I agree with you. I think they're going to probably find ways to get him in there again, whether it's rotating or something. But, man, he's just really special. And I just went over. I mean, he just has all those abilities. He's not a big guy, but he literally, in terms of speed, his catching ability. I mean, I hadn't really focused on his route running. I saw he posted those highlights of him running routes, and he looked great there. But I hadn't really watched him on a consistent basis. But I would assume if he's got those other tools and those other traits, that his route running is probably pretty solid too. But just his ability to make plays, man, I mean, it's really impressive. And I mean, I can understand why people see the 17, they immediately think Jalen Waddle because the speed, the crazy catch. I mean, I don't know if you guys forgot already, but Waddle used to be making crazy catches over the middle of the field, high pointing it, flipping. Like, this guy has that type of ability, in my opinion. Now, again, I know those are big shoes to fill, but just from an early, viewing of him, he's got a lot of promise. Now, I don't know if he'll end up being better, whatever, but he's definitely got a chance. I can say that.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think he's going to span the offense repertoire, how you say the big word, on offense.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the terminology is for this, but I don't think Alabama in the last 2 years run that, what you call it, that pop pass where the receiver run by and the quarterback just pop it to him, or pitch it to him. I mean, if he can get a wall of blockers and he can get 2 guys miss them, what I have seen, this young man can go.
Yeah. No, he
his
can.
speed is
No, he's
well,
special.
I'm excited about him.
Yeah, no, he's definitely somebody to keep an eye out for. Again, I mean, with the depth that they have, I mean, look, 1, 2, and 3. I mean, you just pencil those guys in. They're there, right? Ryan, Jeremy, Isaiah Horton. Those are your top 3 receivers. I mean, there's no denying that. But we do know football is a 100% injury rate, so things are going to come up. Guys might be banged up. So you think about that. Plus, rotating, right? Receivers are running and running and running. You need to get fresh legs out there. Who's your next crew that's going to be the next group in? I'd argue you got to have them in there. I mean, you got Jalen Hale, you got Rico Scott. I would say Rico Scott, Latsier Brooks, Jalen Hale, Cole Adams. Those guys are probably next wave in there. But, yeah, Latsier Brooks, man, keep an eye out for him 100%.
Yeah. Well, I watched replay. I've been studying, doing my homework. I watched the Missouri game. I watched the Auburn game again.
Mm-hmm.
Menard, I couldn't believe it. The Auburn game was his first game where he received over 100 yards in pass catching. And I'm like, how he was open, I'm like, they're not going to be able to double cover us this year. Ryan Williams, I mean, I hate to say this. I don't want to put pressure on people, but there's a strong possibility we'll have 2 wide receivers catching close to 1,000 yards.
I don't think that's putting pressure at
Really?
all. I mean, you look at last season, even with the inconsistencies, right? That Ryan still was in 800, I think, yard range, and same with Jeremy Bernard. I think they're both like neck and neck in terms of their yardage. So, I mean, look, you're talking about an offense that probably is going to lean into the passing game a little bit more than they did last year, given the personnel they have. I think that's a very fair assessment. Not to mention, I mean, you expect Ryan to take a big step. I imagine, Jeremy's going to be – Jeremy Bernard had a really good spring, by the way. And matter of fact, speaking of him, I think it was scrimmage 2. They held Ryan out of that scrimmage. I think he was a little banged up. And when I tell you Jeremy Bernard was literally like – to Ricky's point about being wide receiver 1, he had no problem being wide receiver 1 that day. With Ryan Williams out, I mean, it was literally like Bernard. I think he caught probably 3 or 4 touchdowns throughout the day. And, I mean, he was just all over the place making play after play. So I fully expect him to take even more of a step. So, yeah, I mean, that would not shock me to have 2 1,000-yard receivers, or at least very close to it, would not shock me because, again, they were kind of close to it last year, both with over 800 yards apiece. And that offense last year, obviously, with Jalen's dual threat ability, I mean, you're going to expect to have less, passing plays called than what you're going to probably see this upcoming season. Yeah, I think that's a very real possibility.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm just amazed by the talent we got. And I'm like, they will put pressure on defense. They want them to have anxiety on third down. I don't see them double cover either one of them. If they do, in my opinion, I think we're going to use the tight end more this year, too. I mean,
yeah,
we got the weapon.
Cuevas, I think, definitely could end up being. I mean, he showed some flashes last year in the passing game. And I do know if you go back and watch Washington, right, when, Grubb was still there before the gang split up, right? I mean, he went to Seattle and, Coach DeBoer came here. You should go back and watch that tape. I mean, they utilize tight ends a lot. So I know that's definitely a piece of the game, of their game plan that they want to use. And, we'll see how much that's implemented. But I definitely agree that, if they have the right guys in there, that they feel comfortable with, which I think Cuevas is a guy they trust. We saw him involved last year. I mean, Danny Lewis, I think people forget about him, but, he's got that ability as well. I mean, none of those guys are like, true – pass catching first tight ends. I mean, maybe Marshall Pritchett, I think maybe kind of, he's a younger guy, but what I'm getting at is like, you don't have like somebody like a, what was his name that transferred from here? I'm drawing a blank. Went to Texas. I forgot him already. Is it Nyblack? Like Nyblack, like if we had somebody with that specific skill set, was like a pass catching tight end first, I definitely would say, man, circle that guy as being one of the main, targets in the passing game, because a tight end, like my dad talks about, always can be a quarterback's best friend. Stick routes, quick little things like that. It definitely takes a lot of pressure off, little easy pickup plays, but which I still do believe tight end will be big. But it would be easier for me to say that if we did have somebody with that type of skill set. But I don't think you necessarily have to. I mean, the guys that they were utilizing at Washington, none of them were like crazy, athletes. If anything, I think one of them was actually a walk-on tight end. I think it's more so about the system. And I think these guys have plenty of athletic ability to play that role. So, yeah, I think that'll be something that we see a lot more too.
Yeah, I mean, closer we get, more excited. I'm loving the SEC network doing this. They're showing Alabama losing to Oklahoma, Tennessee, and Vanderbilt. I'm like, keep on playing them every night. I want you to play them games 3 or 4 times a week. I want to get the team fired up.
Hey man, it's part of it, man. It's part of it, man. It is what it is. Look, man, we would take those L's on the chin. That was last year. Learn from it, grow from it, and use it as fuel and motivation going into this season. But I think we'll see a different story this year. I mean, I'll be honest with you, Tennessee. I think Tennessee really has a chance to struggle. I mean, I'm not saying it'd be terrible, but I think they take a step back. I mean, and then you look at how we line up with some of these other teams. I truly believe we got one of the most talented rosters. again, and last year people were trying to say that about us, but me and my dad said, we're like, I mean, like, we've got talent, but I don't think it's what people are really thinking it is, or for at least what they're saying it is based off what they see on paper, which I think a lot of people after last season would agree with what we were saying. We didn't have the same level of talent last season. Right. But you look at this team this year, the question marks from last year have now flipped into strength this year. And then you just look at the growth and maturity from some of the guys from like, yeah, I agree. I think this year's team just appears way more prepared from a talent standpoint, from a maturity standpoint, and even from just an understanding of the buy-in. I think that's really going to go a long way this upcoming season.
Yeah, I mean, it's now practice time, and somebody said, well, who are you looking forward to playing to? I want the first game. I'm not worried about Tennessee. I'm not worried about get the first game.
Yeah.
I want Florida State. That's all that matters, isn't it?
Something that came up this weekend is, I didn't realize this, but when Coach Womack was talking to the media, someone asked him about Gus Malzahn and their relationship, and I didn't know this, and I don't know if you guys know this, but allegedly, he said he grew up with Coach Malzahn. He said he's known him since he was in like middle school, and so he even mentioned he said he played for him. So I didn't realize they go way back like that. And with that being the case, that's going to be a very interesting matchup. Obviously, it's a lot different growing up with somebody versus not like they spent time on a coaching staff together. But that battle.
He played for him 1 year at Arkansas State.
Yeah, he said he played for him, but he said he's known him since he was a kid because of his dad, in the coaching ranks. So that was something that I didn't realize, but it made me say, dang, that first matchup's going to be interesting. Gus Malzahn going against Kane Womack and vice versa. With their history, man, that's going to be a fun matchup. I'm looking forward to that one for sure.
Looking forward to it. Well,
no doubt. Tommy, we appreciate you, brother. Yes, sir. We appreciate you, man. We'll talk soon. Good deal. All right, we got to hit a timeout. When we come back, we'll go to some of these clips that we got for you guys. I know we got the Josh Pate video, but we also got Kalen DeBoer. So we want to please get to both those for today. We'll probably start with Josh Pate, and then we'll wrap things up with Coach DeBoer. All that coming up when we come back after this quick timeout right here. Tide 100.9, 1230, WTBC. He played against Gus in high school, for him in college, and his dad has been friends with him forever. Interesting. Wait, so when you said he played against him, Gus was coaching, I'm assuming, when he played against him, right? Oh, man. We've got more inline tight ends on the roster, but Cuevas flashed. Yeah, exactly. That's why I mentioned Cuevas. He flashed last year that, he'll make plays in the passing game. And I don't think, their system requires, tight ends that to have that type of skill set necessarily. Obviously, I mean, it's ideal if you have somebody like that because it's just such a mismatch when you're talking about, linebackers trying to cover guys like that. That's why I love having at least some of those those U's off ball tight ends, the Irv Smiths, OJ Howards, really big mismatches. But we don't really have a guy like that. Cam Latu, shout out Cam Latu, man. I was talking to my guy last week, man. If y'all only knew the growth and maturity that he's had, man, like, because he started out as an outside linebacker in the room with us, and he'll be the first one to tell you, boy, him and Ayabi Anoma, boy, I felt like I was a parent. I mean, I was literally, I was on their case like every day. Like it was like, like they were my kids, man. Like not in a disrespect, but funny with that because I was always, number one, I was older, but I was a lot more mature. And man, there used to be some knuckleheads running around. I used to, every day, it's like, guys, y'all got to settle down, man. Then he ended up getting moved to tight end, man. Did a hell of a job. I remember he was nervous at first. see, Mill, bro, I've never really played tight end, bro. I was like, man, look, just trust him. Just try it and see how it goes. If it don't work, it don't work. And go back to playing linebacker. Worked out great for him. Which is so funny because he never like, even like when we were in the outside linebacker room, like he didn't ever have like that. He didn't just come off like, oh man, like if you said like somebody like Rashawn, you know what I'm saying, like with his level of athleticism, like if someone said, oh, he'd go play on the other side, which I think Rashawn even played maybe a little running back at times in high school, but I would be like, all right, but Cam, I wouldn't even really have viewed him as like a pass catching tight end like that.
267.
Hell, he ended up setting records.
From FireRadio.com.
This is Miller's Edge on Tide 100.9.
Yeah, he was physical, but also was a threat in the passing game. And we're back on this Monday edition of Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Art Sport Experts. Real quick, R&R Cigars. Make sure you guys check them out, 2703 Gary Fitz Street here in Tuscaloosa, the best humidor in the Southeast. They got the big old mansion where you can go enjoy those cigars, enjoy one of 160 bourbons or more, drink responsibly. But they've got so much and more for you to try out there and to offer you there, plus all the TVs throughout. Watch your favorite sporting events. They're one of the only places here in Tuscaloosa that actually puts on the fights. If you're a big UFC guy, boxing, they always are playing those things. That way you don't have to pay for it. They do it, and you can go hang out. But I'm telling you, football season coming up, it's the place to be when it comes to just kicking back, enjoying a nice cigar, watching sports, man. You can't beat it, man. Anytime my dad's in town, 10 times out of 10, he's hanging out there, man, with Reagan and the fam and all the folks there, man. So make sure you guys check them out. And speaking of R&R Cigars, code Miller's Edge on their website, rnrcigars.com. Use that code. It gets you 20% off. Again, and that's not like some incentive for us. That is strictly for you guys. You guys get 20% off because you guys are listeners of the show. So make sure you guys take advantage of that. Miller's Edge, rnrcigars.com. Whether you're going to gift for somebody, it's for yourself. They've got all you can ask for on the website right there, and you get 20% off when you use that code, plus free shipping on certain orders. So make sure you guys check that out. And last but not least, tomorrow we will be joined by Reagan for a really big announcement that he's going to break the news here on the show. He personally wanted to do it on the Miller's Edge, and I told him that it's totally fine. I would love for him to do that. And so he'll be on here with some breaking news for you guys. It's going to be really exciting. So I think you guys will think it's really cool what he's got in the works. So we'll do that tomorrow here on the show. That being said, let's dive into this Josh Pate video. This is his preview for, actually, you know what, Chase, since we're kind of lower on time, and I want to make sure we don't, because I think we've missed so many interviews. Well, we might end up even having to save this for tomorrow because I know we're about to run short, and it'll be a good one to save for tomorrow. It's Talking Tuesday. If we have time, we'll get to it. But I really want to get to Coach DeBoer talking this weekend's updates again. He spoke to the media after practice yesterday, and we'll have many other videos to play tomorrow too, because today is media day, and it appears not only is Ellis up there with all the other Yay Alabama members, but they've got all the guys, I guess, available to do some media type stuff, which I wasn't aware of that. I didn't realize they were doing it like that. But the good news is we'll get all that stuff played tomorrow. But first, let's do this. Let's hear Kalen DeBoer talk about, he gives an update on fall camp, where things are through 4 days of practice. And this was yesterday. So let's go ahead and hear from the head coach, the man himself, Coach Kalen DeBoer.
Practice number 4, the last 2, obviously with pads and longer practices, just, challenging the guys' competitive stamina, the physical, the mental piece of it. And really like how they were able to sustain the energy, sustain the effort and attitude, right? Just bringing juice, focusing on the next play, all those things that are cliches that are so important to success on the football field. And so that was the challenge from a big picture from January when the guys brought high level intensity, and you narrow it down to each practice and even each period and each play. And so start to finish, high expectations, and these guys doing a good job picking each other up. Every play, there's going to be a winner and loser. And so that side of the ball's, got to keep the pedal down when you win, and the other side's got to react and respond the next one. So like what I see.
Noticed Latte Brooks with the boot yesterday, but didn't see him today. What's going on with him health-wise?
Yeah, it won't be anything long-term or anything like that. So just be a little bit of recovery here. I don't know if it's day-to-day, but it's not going to be something that's extended.
What have you seen from the quarterbacks these last 3 days?
I think the biggest thing, practice 1 was good. 2, the installs become more and different things. And a lot of it's still base stuff for the most part that these guys have worked on spring, summer. But there was a couple just missed opportunities really between receivers or skill guys and the quarterbacks. And I thought the last 2 practices, those near misses have now been, completions. And so that's what you like to see, where the plays are getting made, the plays are getting drawn up and there's execution on a high level somewhere. And either you miss the throw or and sometimes maybe there's an offensive line, breakdown of some type, or someone just a little closer and causing a little bit of, distraction for the quarterback. But the last 2 days have really been better, and that's what you want to see.
What is favorite responsibility right now? So he's got this team on his way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was out there taking team reps, and there's nothing as far as anything we're concerned about. The volume a little bit, just tweaked a little bit, but he's good and playing at a high level, and so just making sure we're careful. But he's good.
What do you see from that room in general?
The competitiveness, guys that all want to make sure they're on the football field, and I trust them all. I really do. A lot of just high energy, high effort. They focus on playing at a high level, and great character, great personalities. A lot like what I would say in the quarterback room, where they all push each other in a healthy way. But there's some playmakers there, and they always do their job first and foremost as part of the defensive concept, whatever it's called. And I like the way they're getting to the quarterback and really pressing those edges. And they're versatile enough they can do a lot of other things too, where you put them in spots even once in a while in coverage.
Besides Jeremy and Ryan Williams, who are a couple of wide receivers that are showing you that they can play multiple spots?
Mm-hmm. I think Rico's one of those guys, and he can play inside and outside. I think Isaiah could. Probably haven't just pushed him as much into there. Some of our formations and things we do, guys end up in inside and outside. So we do, it's not a secret, we do a lot of condensed splits and a lot of spreads. So guys find themselves across the field in a lot of different ways. And so, that's what we want. We want guys that are extremely versatile, can make the one-on-ones in the outside, but those matchups that we can really try to facilitate in different ways, that they all have that opportunity. So I think Rico can do that and play inside outside, and I know Isaiah could if we used him a lot in that spot. And that's something I'm sure we'll add as we go through the year and you game plan certain situations.
He's not really built like a slot guy, though.
No, he's not. I mean, it depends on how you look at it, but and what you want to do with him. But he's doing a great job. He's doing a really good job.
Saw Cam and Gino kind of manning inside with the first team offensive line there. Jaden Roberts was with the second team. Any indication on a potential movement in that starting lineup, or why did you want to see both Cam and Gino play together?
Yeah, I think you gotta, you got the competitive piece, and then you also have this is what we would do, and just guys learning cross training in different positions, and Gino's got to play center on top of guard. And so, he's a Swiss Army knife that way, and really important to us. And, I really like the way he's developed coming back from a year ago. He clamps onto you and he stays connected. That's something I've seen really with his growth. And so, and then he's comfortable in all those spots, and playing aggressively, playing confidently.
Do you want, I guess, both Jaden and Cam, do you want them to cross train at both guard spots as well? Is that kind of same with Billhouse? What's kind of
Yeah, that's a good question. I think they probably start out at their spots and get most of the snaps, but there might be small situations as we go through camp and see how it goes, and you want to kind of distribute some reps there just to get a guy in a pinch some reps that he feels comfortable with if he's put in that spot.
Coach,
Coach, it seems like both your coordinators are very, very involved in individual position drills. How important is that to have two coordinators that are involved in the minutia of the game as well as the overall units?
Yeah, two great coaches that, Kane and Grubb, just, that understand not just one position, but they understand the details, the techniques, the fundamentals, and then are helping push, just like when I'm around to a position group, the head coach is watching, you got those coordinators in there. And I love it. I love that they have that ability, and we have position coaches that really can hold their position intact, and those guys can get around and evaluate, teach, push, and yeah, it's really great that Kane and Grubb can do those things.
Don't think we'll talk to you before Saturday scrimmage. Just wait to get out of that. And from a quarterback standpoint, is there anything different rep-wise that you do compared to the spring scrimmages?
Probably very similar. The first scrimmage is always very similar, probably to where you left off. And yeah, you're going to evolve a little bit here as the week goes on, but just a lot of base stuff. We did some situational work. We're again further along. Critical moments. I mean, we're working clutch already, 2-minute today, something that maybe would have been another practice or two later. Just all those, third down. I feel like we're a little bit more dialed in on third down, fourth down situations even already today. And so the first scrimmage, though, is a little bit more basic. If we feel the need to get some backed up or, some goal line in there if we're ready, which a year ago we probably didn't push the issue on the goal line stuff in that first scrimmage as much. I think, that could be a possibility to run a few more reps. So a lot of the situational work, those critical moments that we know we got to be better at. I think that, get scrimmaging, and, you got two scrimmages really here that we really put emphasis on, that are big ones in the fall. And we want to make sure we maximize any opportunity we can get in those moments.
Noah Carter, what kind of growth do you see from him here one and two?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of both for Noah. Questions about Noah Carter. I think first starts with, him and just his maturity. And it's not that makes it sound like he was immature. That's not the case. I'm talking about just everything he does as far as going about his business, preparation for a practice when he's out there. It's about every play, giving everything he's got, but learning from both what he's doing and now absorbing and learning from others. And that's what mature guys do. And I just love the way he goes out there, and there's a business-like mentality about him. And then just the production too, physically, he's just taking those next steps, and you can see his production. He's in the right spot, and he's able to hold his own, against matchups when the physicality has to take place. He's worked hard in the off season to really get his body mate built up, and, Baloo and the staff have done a great job. I think Noah's a guy that's absorbed all that, taken all that in, and taken advantage of it.
We've talked to a lot of players, talked about team chemistry, and you and yesterday, LT Overton, said that's kind of back to you and that relationship. Do you see that team reflecting your personality?
The chemistry part, the part that I really push is, in the end, them holding each other accountable on top of, yes, it starts with the coaches and myself. We got to be the culture leaders, but really where it really comes to life is from them. And, when it means that much to them, and they're investing in the ownership that they have in the team, and not just the team as a whole, but the individuals. It starts with probably position groups and their side of the ball. And then, man, when it really catches fire is when each side of the ball can affect the other and influence each other, whether it's the personal relationships or what's happening on the football field, to where, it gets testy, it gets physical, and it's only going to happen more and more as they get more wore down, how we responded. And I just love the direction it's going. I don't feel like you're ever there yet. And once you relax, it's going to start going the wrong way. And so LT would be a guy that, really does a great job of making sure he takes care of himself. And then how's he affecting? He's setting the standard of how he wants the guys around him and those he comes in contact with. And, offensively, he's pushing those guys, to the max in how he plays, but also just their mindset. And so, yeah, I think I love the direction it's going. Again, we're never there. We're always going to be just short, but because if we do get there, it's going to start going the wrong way. So love the culture that's building within the team. Well, first, it's good to see Cuevas get back out there and get his reps and build that up. And I think there's a lot of learning going on. You got the two guys that came in. Really, there's three that came in the summer. The two guys transferring in, and Caleb from high school. So they're swimming a little bit, just with the physicality piece now that you put the pads on. But they've adjusted, I think, just in a way that I would expect. Here even today, I feel like there was growth from yesterday to today. There's first understanding your responsibility and executing your job. And the more reps they get at that, the more comfortable they get. But, Caleb's got big target, does a nice job, is very savvy, instinctual. He's got some of that dual sport in him, and he feels comfortable out in space. And then, I think Jack, physical, kind of a mauler type guy, and then Brody's done a nice job, I think, kind of in between. He's got that experience and got a lot of football under his belt, but he's also learning and getting used to playing every practice at the level we're playing. So, yeah, those guys are doing a nice job adjusting.
How much more excitement do you sense from players to get into full pads and live contact?
Yeah, these guys are so focused right now on today. And that's what I love about them. That time's going to come. They still even get tomorrow. We don't have a practice. And I just really like how we set up 2, 1 off, 2, and then 1 off as far as practices, to where they can go out there and they can play extremely fast. This next week will be now where they really grind and get into those padded practices. But they're just doing a great job of focusing on the moment. And so really answering that question, it'd be more about they haven't even thought about that yet. And I really, truly believe that that's the case.
What have you seen from Jalen Mbakwe this summer?
He's had a couple, more so, right now than the summer. Box made some nice plays here. He's actually gotten practice kicked off in a good way from an offensive standpoint with some big plays early on. And so, again, growth happening. It's fun. That's great to see. I feel like, any player, you're always looking, can you trust him to get lined up? Can you trust him to do his job? Those are really things that I'm not worried about with Bach. And so now it's just getting comfortable more and more with the offense and the timing and working with the guys around him. So that the growth I would hope for is what I'm seeing. Thank you.
So there you go. That was head coach Kalen DeBoer speaking to the media after practice number 4 yesterday. Recapped kind of what he's seen through 4 days of some really good work they've gotten. Again, today is media day. Matter of fact, I might try to slip up there if it's still going on. I know Ellis is up there and looks like they're having a good time. So we're going to take a quick timeout. We come back. They got some clips over here on Yay, Alabama. I'll put those on the screen for you guys to kind of see what's been going on at media day, man. Looks like you can go play some video games with the players, take pictures with them. So Yay, Alabama, man, doing a nice job putting on some good events and things like that for their subscribers. So make sure you guys consider doing that. All right, we got to hit timeout. We come back. We wrap things up on this Monday edition of the Miller's Edge, Top 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Yeah, it looks like my guy Roman's there too. I'm trying to think. We never did anything like, well, we didn't have Yay Alabama back then, but like our media day, we weren't like open to media either, though. That's interesting. Wait, is that the guy in the background? What is this guy's name? Isn't that guy that walks around with that big hammer all the time? Is he there because he's a subscriber, or did they invite him there? That's interesting. So this must be what Ellis was talking about, or he got his picture with Wilkin and Proctor. But he said he was waiting in a line. I wonder if they're only letting a certain number of people in at a time, because it doesn't look like completely like flooded in there like you would think, if you know what I mean. Meaning like if people knew they could come attend this, I feel like there'd probably be tons of people, but maybe it's because it's a Monday too. Or maybe when he said there's a line, like they only let a certain number of people in at a time. Let's see. Looks like Ties on the sticks right there. Cool, though. Cool idea. A smart way to get some people involved. Good deal. Chase, just tell me what time we probably need to be out by, because I know I kind of got the breaks all put together. Maybe a little early, like 56. Whatever time, you just tell me. We're about to wrap it up anyway.
This is Miller's Edge on Tide 100.9.
And welcome back into this Monday edition of the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, putting a bow on everything that we've talked about today. Been a fun one. Had a lot of activity here on the YouTube stream. Shout out to you guys. We're still trying to come up with that name. So if you guys get creative, maybe I'll surprise whoever comes up with the name that we vote on with something. I don't know. But trying to come up with the term for our little community, our little family here. I don't know, like something, but I'm thinking something like short, sweet, simple, like the edge, something. I don't know. That might be a little bit too. I don't know. But anyway, think on that, guys. Think on that. That being said, we just heard from Coach DeBoer, talked about what he's seen through 4 days of practice. Media day is going on right now. I got it playing on the stream right here. They got some clips that Yay Alabama had posted. The edge setters. That's kind of cool. I like that. I like that, Dwight. I'll write that one down too, the edge setters. But you see Derek Meadows throwing the football with the young man here. Really good. Really, really cool experience for him. I mean, that kid's going to remember that for a while. But again, just another example of Derek's size, man. I mean, this dude, tall dude, man. But it looks like they've got a bounce house type thing in the background here. Looks like they've got guys, don't get on me, man. I've been talking for 2 hours. Chase, cornhole. Well, almost forgot the name of the dang game. Looks like they got some cornhole set up. I know they had the PlayStation set up. You see here, looks like Ty Simpson and a couple other guys. I think that might be Dewberry right there. On the sticks, playing with some of the young guests there. So really good idea for Yale, Alabama. I mean, that definitely is a great incentive to get people to sign up. Now, obviously, there's probably like a certain level you have to be to get this experience, but nonetheless, cool. Just something to consider if you guys are and this is a free plug. They're not paying me to do this, but if Yale, Alabama is something that you're considering, man, this should be I guess a good incentive. You get to go hang out and play video games and throw football around some of these players, which is really cool. And I guess I'll try to sneak on up there here in a minute, but might be finishing up. I don't know, but we'll see. But there you go. That being said, we got to go ahead and get out of here because we're going to combine breaks. That way we can catch back up to speed. But appreciate everybody today. Again, it's been a fun one on this Monday edition. If you haven't already, man, drop us a like on the YouTube stream, Facebook stream, all that helps us out. Subscribe. If you like the content, again, we do this Monday through Friday, 11 to 1. And it's only getting started. We're picking things up. Fall camp is getting going. We're getting going. More guests lined up, more opportunities. We got giveaways. We got a whole bunch in store for you guys. So be on the lookout for all that stuff. Appreciate Chase behind the glass, all our listeners, all our callers, all that good stuff, man. Appreciate you guys big time. Up next, you got T-Town Sports Daily right here, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. We'll see you right here on the Miller's Edge, presented by the Good Feet Store tomorrow in 22 hours.